I do a Marty review. Marty? Marty. What do we got today? What's Marty up to today?
Never thought I'd ever talk about, and something that I've been thinking about for a little while, and I think I'm going to make the decision to fully commit to what I'm talking about. Now, what am I talking about?
That's good, Marty. It's always good to commit. And
What I'm talking about is I'm going to quit smoking and using any sort of cannabis products or cannabis, anything cannabis in general, even CBD. And that's because of something that I have been thinking about, like being sober minded, and it's always money. Everything comes down to money, and I don't want to keep spending money on.
hey, what's up, Big Phil? Checking out to see what Marty's up to. Did you hear that? He's gonna quit weed, but it all comes down to money. I think we're gonna find that this is a money issue and not something that Marty really wants to dedicate himself to. Just wait. Later on in the conversation, we'll find out.
Marijuana. So, that being said, I start doing some research on, biblically, why I should probably quit smoking weed. And what I did was I just Googled, Bible verses against marijuana. Now, obviously, you're going to have a lot of that.
No, I don't think he's gonna stop neither, Phil. I don't think he is. I think he's full of shit, just like most things. Marty tells us, like, wait, he'll tell us.
That comes out about, like, people are going to complain about how, you're a Christian, so you shouldn't smoke weed because it's a drug or whatever. Now, I understand that argument. I really do. But here's my argument back to that. Now, I'm not defending cannabis in any sort of way because I'm making the decision to quit for a reason. But that being said,
he's also giving himself an excuse to start back up. Probably when money isn't an issue.
Like this coffee right here that I'm drinking, or the cigarettes people smoke, or any of that caffeine, nicotine, it's all a drug. So, what I mean? We have to be careful when we attack people for doing things because I think smoking cigarettes is disgusting, but the same person might think that.
You mean attacking people for things? Things like, hey, you live in Canada. You ain't worth a shit. It's not the kind of things you're talking about, Marty. You good old Christian guy, you. Hey, you're an American asshole. That doesn't make all the Americans assholes. That makes you an asshole, Marty.
This is disgusting, so I digress. Now, I don't want to go a really long time, but I was reading something online about it, and I seen this, and I wanted to read it from here. So this is from 1 Peter chapter 5, and we're going to start in verse 6. And it says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that the proper time he may exalt you, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. Be sober-minded and be watchful."
Did you hear that, Marty? Give him all your anxieties. That way you don't have fear anymore. And you won't have the fear to step up and be a man and do what's right for your children. That's what he means. Give your anxiety to him. It's going to be hard, Marty. It's hard for me to do these videos. I don't feel comfortable doing them. I don't like telling people that I think they're idiots, but I have to tell them they're idiots if they're not willing to at least say, hey, there's a problem. Now, I don't have a problem if you don't want to do anything, but the problem is that when you come back at me and you call me a fucking idiot, that's when I have a problem.
Adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in your faith, knowing that the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world. Now we see that.
You're not suffering, Marty. You're not willing to suffer. You're feeling pretty good, and I don't know why.
Right now, there's Christians in Gaza. There's Christians in Israel, and they're being affected just as much as the Jews and the Arabs right now. So, like, I'm not really sure why people are discounting the Christians, but that's a whole different video.
Well, we shouldn't be discounting anybody, Marty. See, what we should be doing is looking at each other as human beings, not the religion that we're into, not the race that we are, but as human beings. Looking at each other as we are each other. You know what I mean, Marty?
Throughout the world, and after you have suffered a little while, The God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you to be dominion forever and ever. Amen. So what Peter's saying here is that we need to be sober-minded. Now, obviously, that's enough for me right now to say, okay, I'm going to quit smoking weed now.
That's the best text he found for quitting weed. Like, really? What in that said, hey, don't smoke weed. Don't do something. Well, he'll tell us. I watched a little bit of this. I didn't watch the whole thing. I wasn't even going to go live. I've been doing some other things today, but I thought I'd come on. Anyways, Marty, continue.
As the Bible just told me, I need to be sober-minded. And I know for a fact that when I smoke weed...
Well, the Bible tells you that the 10 Commandments are important, and Jesus is the most important thing in there. But that's not what you want to follow. You want to follow what makes you feel comfortable. Hey, if you're going to be like Jesus, you're going to feel uncomfortable, Marty. But hey, you're the one that's with Jesus, and I'm the freak show.
The point of smoking weed or doing cannabis is to not be sober-minded. It's to have an excuse to forget about the real world. Now, I'm tired of forgetting about the real world. When I start...
See, I don't know about Marty, but when... I've been clean for a little bit, so it's getting hard. But when I smoke weed, I use it to get creative, to think of ways on how to get through to people. Let them know that there's problems in the world, and if we stick together, we can do something. Like, that's why I smoke weed, to get creative and come up with ideas. I don't do it to forget about the real world. I do take it so it makes my tummy feel a little bit better, because at least I know I'm trying to do something, I'm moving forward, and I'm trying to help the world. That's what weed does for me, but nobody wants to hear that. For some reason, it makes me delusional, but I don't know about any delusions I've ever had, because no one will share them with me.
My faith in myself a long time ago, things fell apart. My life fell apart. My work ethic fell apart. You know what I mean? I had a really, really good job making $19 an hour, and my mental health was severely just...
Is that like a good job in America? 19 bucks an hour? Is that what... Hey, Phil, are you still in there? Is that a high wage in America? Because like 1920s, like, it's like a low factory end job around here, I guess. I don't know. Like, I know different areas have different things, but I know what it's like though, Marty. You're doing all the right thing. Well, you just said you fucked it up yourself. I don't think I fuck shit up. I think people fuck shit up for me. And I tried to find out, and no one wanted to answer, and they deleted all their emails, and then they didn't want to talk to me, and then they send me letters saying I'm not allowed to talk to anybody about it. And, well, I don't know. I'm still trying to find out if I fucked myself, Marty, or, you know.
In anguish because of things going on that I caused in my own life. Now, some of it's not my fault. But I am a grown man, and I did grow up a certain way, and that life is over.
Everything that happens to us is our fault, Marty. It's whether or not you're a man and you stand up for yourself and you fight for what's right. That's what's key, Marty. Everything that's happened to me is on me, but I'm trying to fight back so I can take that trauma that I have and I can give it back to the people that deserve it.
I've been 18 for more than 20 years now. That is I live next to a military base, and that is a beautiful place. They've been doing these crazy night missions when they're following each other around all the way up until 2 a.m. So we know something's coming, which is another reason why I love living next to this base, is because, like, I'm not one of those weirdos that talks about you.
So he knows something's coming, but he still doesn't want to fucking do anything about it. Huh?
But we'll talk about that in a second. I want to get through this, trying to be normal. Now, I smoked my last little bit of cannabis last night, my actual flower that I had.
Listen up.
And today I woke up, obviously, first thing I wanted to do was grab my bowl. But I actually just shattered it over there on purpose. I have like a rig set up right now where I'd show you. I take the camera, and there's a bunch of glass over there on the ground, so I have to sweep up.
Well, why don't you show us, Marty?
And part of me wanted to be like, oh man, I don't need weed, I should get the resin out of my bowl. But then, like, I've been trying to fight that fear.
It sounds like it's a money problem. If you're willing to actually think about scraping the resin off the glass, It's probably because you're low on funds, and maybe that's why you have to quit smoking weed.
Because that's gross. Nobody does that. So like this book in the last few weeks has really starting to make itself known to me. And I would challenge any of you guys out there, if you haven't read the Bible yet, just get yourself a good ESV. This is
Yeah, I suggest to everybody that they read the Bible, but don't take the Bible into your heart. Find Jesus and let Jesus into your heart. I mean, knowledge only goes in here. Jesus is felt here.
Bible right here. It has the confessions in it. It's nice. It was only like $50. It's nice. It's nice. It's durable. It's leather. You know, and I'm proud to hold this book.
Listen, you don't need to spend $50 like Marty on a Bible, neither. I think I spent $5 on mine. But
Book is life. When I bleed, these words need to come out of me. That's how I feel. So,
the book is not
slowly,
life,
you know, I mean, obviously, I have
life.
my faults. Nobody's not gonna have their faults. I still have mouth on me. I still make fun of people in ways I shouldn't. But you know, there's a lot of things that people don't get. There's a lot of these jokes that people think, like Psychopath Rap likes to say that everybody.
You ready for this? Remember, everything is always my opinions and my thoughts. Like I always say, these are my opinions and my thoughts. Please bring everything forward to me so I can assess all the information. Let me know where I'm wrong. Marty's about to tell you something here.
Pedophile all the time. I mean it when I say it because.
Well, he means, well, if there could be a lawsuit, I think Psychobabble might be able to sue Marty here because, well, he just accused him of being a pedophile because, well, in his mind, that's what he is. So he's telling everybody that's what he is. It's not his opinions and his thoughts. That's a statement.
Proof that you diddled a little kid, but I do have physical proof of you talking about little kids doing sexual things. And that's enough for me. You know what I mean? So as somebody that has a daughter and a son, that's enough for me. I don't know how you could be a father and be okay with anybody talking like that about children, even if...
Yeah, motherfucker. Right there, Marty. Right there, motherfucker. Right there, motherfucker. You care about Psychobabble. You care about the kids being around Psychobabble, but you don't give a fuck about Bill Gates, because you're a pussy. You're a pussy, 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 pussy. Fuck Marty. You should go hang out with little me. You guys would be great buddies. Like, how can you say that? You're worried about Psychobabble. You're willing to go on video and say because you have kids, you're worried about Psychobabble when you can just fucking unsubscribe from Psychobabble and never have to hear from him again. But you're worried about him, but you're not worried about the child trafficking or the fentanyl or any of that shit for your kids. You're not worried about any of that, but you're worried about Psychobabble, and you're fucking more than ready and willing to say that on fucking video. What a fucking idiot.
But I digress. Whole different video. Don't want to get into it. He's the one person that I'm struggling with forgiving in any sort of way. Not because he's done anything to me, but because I know how wicked he is in real life. And I mean, we're not better, but you could tell his influence just with people like AD, you know, stuff like that. One person will lie, and the next person will repeat the lie, and then the next person will repeat the lie, and eventually their commenters will start, you know what I mean? Like I brought up the other day that Babel made a joke about an 8-year-old masturbating online or calling sex lines or whatever it was. And
Yeah, Psychobabble is weird. I agree. Psychobabble does some weird stuff. Has fucking pictures people in their underwear for some reason, and he's all sorts of weird. He wants to fuck Casey's woman if Casey ever gets a woman. I agree. I mean, these are things that have came out of his own mouth, but to clearly point the finger and say that he's a pedophile. I mean, even Bill Gates, I say, hey man, I just want the answers. The evidence is there. There's a lot of, like his wife says, and Marty doesn't want to do anything about it. And this is the guy that's providing Marty food.
God corrected me and said, he said 11. Like 11 years old was any better, right? So, I digress. Anyways, that's just who they're going to be, though. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like Like, literally, I say this all the time.
You are that guy because
and
you
I've been
want
trying to watch
YouTube
my mouth
views, you
more. I'm trying
moron.
not to swear more. I'm trying to help people more. I'm trying to be more loving. I'm trying to go out.
You remember who came on my page, Marty? You weren't even in my sights, you stupid motherfucker. And like, listen, I think shit's about to go down. And your little noggin, just like little me, and little Robbie, and little Tax, and AD, and Dagburn, and everybody else, they're gonna lose their fucking minds. If you were to ever find out there was a God and you weren't serving them because you were too busy serving that fucking book, or thinking you were because you're not even serving that book with the way that you fucking act, you fucking asshole. And I'm saying this because I love you, Marty. I want you to turn yourself around. Like, look at, if I seen you, Marty, I could just come, Marty, I'd give you a big kiss. I love you, Marty. I love you, buddy.
Bubble and do things that I don't usually do. You know what I mean? Like, all kinds of stuff. Just because I've never.
How long you been on YouTube doing what? Same old shit, Marty.
And not because I'm trying to get recognition or anything for it. It's because I just want to be different. I want to be different. So a lot of you guys out there that.
Different doing what, Marty? What changes are you making? What are you doing to set yourself apart from others? Other than the fact that when you see someone set themselves apart from others, want to make the change, you want to come after them. Yes, I definitely agree. Marty's definitely got some issues, and I don't think Marty even knows he has issues. I don't think people know that they have issues. Yeah, he is a hypocrite. He is. For sure. I mean, but isn't everybody really? I mean, just not to that degree. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. The other day, I'm like, just one thing in your life, one lie, can change the whole direction of your life. And I was like, I know it can by the things that have happened through my life. But when you know experiences that others have had, and then you find out the actual truth, you kind of see why they're all fucked up. So I'm walking down the road, like down my road the other day, and I'm just crossing the street, and I wasn't paying attention, really. I went to like nod to a guy that was walking across from me, and all of a sudden he starts spazzing out like he wanted to fight me and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, what the fuck? So I was just like, whatever, bud. I don't know who you are, but, and he's like, you're gonna know who I am. You better remember. And then I looked at him and I went, yeah, I know who you are. I remember now. And then he said he was just kidding around and stuff like that. But he was all fucked up, like fucked up on something major. But we had this conversation because we sat around and talked for a little bit. And this guy, I remember when we were like young, like 15 years old, this guy had something happen to him. And someone said, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, it's no wonder his life's fucked up. Someone came out and said that he had touched them. And the guy that said that he touched them was even older. Now, this guy that said that was, he's not mentally, like he's smart, but he's a little bit slow, but he's kind of smart. You know what I mean? So when this went around, this guy had to live in town with everybody thinking that he had molested this guy because he had told everybody this. And he pretty much cried out in front and told me, he said, that's not the way things went down. I've lived my life of fucking bullshit and everybody hating him. And I know this because fuck, I ended up getting in fights with him about this. He fucking told me that this guy was the one that was doing it. And not that he wasn't participating in it. But he said if he didn't continue, he was gonna go and tell people. And meanwhile, this guy was the one that had fucking, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about the story, but it just reminded me of like a lie that can destroy, like, I know the shit that this guy went through because this, and maybe it wasn't a lie, but I don't know. He sounded pretty sincere. He was reflecting on his life, on how fucking shitty it's been based on a lie. Like all fucked up on drugs. The guy's like 50 years old and all fucked up on drugs. And he's telling me he's running from the cops, and it's just all, I don't know. I'm gonna stop this because I don't even want to talk about it because I know how much shit this guy went through. I tried having this conversation with my wife, and I'm like, we never know what's going through people's heads. We never understand what they've been through to get to where they are. But there's no one to talk to. There's nowhere to go. There's no one, like I know from personal experience, there's no one to talk to. There's nowhere to get the truth out. Once you're trapped in a lie, and it's one person's word versus another, and that isn't even the case because I know if I ever had to go against Marwood or any of this other shit, the cops and all this other stuff, I have receipts. I'm just not allowed to say or do anything because, well, I'm a crazy person and I could get locked up. Anyways, I'm gonna go because I gotta start dinner anyways. Hope everybody has a good day.